Hey, good morning, business owners. Today, I want to take you through setting up your domain and your hosting, and we're going to use Bluehost. Bluehost is a hosting provider that we've been using for a number of years, and we think it's a really good way for you to get started with blogging because they have affordable plans and they have great customer service. So, I've had blogs, and I started out with different hosting providers and kind of switched over to Bluehost. I would say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I have had nothing but positive experiences. I've had situations where I've had updates and my site has gone down, and I can get on the phone with Bluehost and they, walk me through getting the problems resolved. Or if the problem is something that I need to discuss with my software developers, then they will route me over to the software developers. In other words, give me that information that I need to give to my software developers, and then they can look at that information and get me back up and running fairly quickly. So we'll talk about all that in this video. The other thing that I want you to think about is if you've been holding back, if you think that you're not techie enough to have a blog, or you think that blogging is really complicated, this video will show you just how easy it is and affordable to get a blog set up. So once we get done with this video, you are going to technically be a blog owner. And then there will be some other steps that we're going to go through that will get your site set up so that it looks great, it functions the way you want it to, and you will be able to sell or promote or educate or inform or whatever it is that you have set for your business. You're going to be able to accomplish those goals with a blog or a website or an online store. Okay, so now we're on the Bluehost site, and if you land on this site and it looks a little different from this, don't be alarmed because Bluehost is always kind of changing things up. But the basic thing that you want to do when you're on their site is you want to look at their plans. So you want to click on any button that allows you to look at their plans, and this is what you will see. You'll see something similar to this. Now, we've been with Bluehost for like about 5 or 6 years, and this always looks pretty much the same. So, and the thing that you want to know when you're starting out is how much is it going to cost to have a blog, right? And so this is basically going to break everything down for you. And I'm going to help you because there's some things that if you don't have kind of the inside scoop, you may not know, what you're looking at. So they have a basic plan, they have the Choice Plus plan, they have an online store, and they have a pro account. So as you can see, all of these plans are pretty reasonable when you think about, everything that you're going to get. But what I want you to look at is that these are introductory rates. So all of these are introductory rates. And I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger so that I don't have to keep panning over. So just 1 second. And let me make sure that I have this at the right, in the right proportion. Okay. So each one of these is an introductory price. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're aware of the fact that these prices will be in effect for 12 months, which is a year. And that is going to give you a year to get your site up and running and, start making money. And if you're diligent and consistent, of course, there's no guarantee, but if you are consistent with your marketing and you are serious about your business, there is no reason that you can't start making money, within that 12-month period. So with that said, there are some other options that we're going to look at here in a moment. But just be aware that these are introductory prices. You get this pricing for a year, and then here in the in the bottom area, it tells you what your bill is going to be after that 12 months is up. So for the basic plan, for the 12-month term, you pay $199 per month, and then it's going to renew at $11.99 per month. So even when it renews at $11.99 per month, you're still going to be getting an excellent value, because look at all the stuff you get. So with the basic plan, we're going to stick with this for a minute. You are going to get the ability, you'll have the ability to have 10 websites on this one basic plan. Now, is that really realistic? It could be, depending on how much storage you need for each website. I would venture to say that you can't have a mammoth website. If you've got a mammoth website, or you've got 10 mammoth websites, you're going to run out of storage space. So you get 10 gigabytes of storage space. I don't know, just depending on how many images, videos, text files, podcast episodes, how much content are you going to be putting on your server. And your server is basically what you're renting from Bluehost. So Bluehost is your web host, and they are giving you space on a server for all of your files. So it's just like going to, we'll just use the example of, an apartment versus having your own home. So when you have your own home, you get a mortgage, you pay on that mortgage, and the bank, forwards you the money so that you can buy your home, and then you pay the bank back. Well, with Bluehost, they're kind of like the mortgage company. So they give you the ability to rent storage space on their servers, and that enables you to build a business where you're going to be making money, right? And so you're going to recoup the money that you're spending on your hosting. You're going to recoup that many, many, many times over. And so the initial investment of $1.99 a month is going to be small potatoes, but that is going to be enough to get you up and running, get your site launched, and enable you to start making money. And then after that 12-month period, it goes up to $11.99. You're still going to be making, that money. You're going to make a lot more than $11.99 a month, hopefully, in your business. And so this investment is going to be an investment in you. And they're giving you a break for that first year so that you can get your business up and running and really, hit the ground running. Now, when you are on sites like Wix or Squarespace or Blogger, those are companies that they're kind of like being in an apartment, where you rent the apartment and they still have control. Like when you rent an apartment, you can't hang certain things on the walls. You can't choose your carpet color. You can't rip out the cabinets in the kitchen and put the cabinets in that you want. You can't do any of that stuff, right? Your apartment landlord kind of calls the shots, but they give you a nice place to live, right? And that's the same thing that happens with your platform. When you are on those sites that are what we call limited use sites, even Etsy is a limited use site. So in the e-commerce world, Etsy would be considered a limited use site because they allow you to have your products or your content on their site, but they call the shots on what you can do and what you can't do. And the same way that, if you're in an apartment and you do things that fall out outside of your lease, they're going to kick you out, right? Well, the same thing happens with, Etsy, Wix, Squarespace, all the other sites that are limited use. They can shut you down if you do something outside the, your agreement, the agreement that you have with those companies. And so you want to have what we call a self-hosted option, and that's what Bluehost is going to give you. So Bluehost gives you WordPress. WordPress is free. The only thing you pay for with your self-hosted platform is you pay for the space where you put all of your files. So hopefully that makes sense, because when you have your files stored on Bluehost, you can sell what you want. You can package together products the way that you want to. You can become an affiliate marketer. You can do print on demand. You can blog. You can do videos. You can have a podcast. And you can be earning money from all of those income sources. And all of that can happen with this basic plan. Now, in my opinion, though, the best value, and I know they say recommended up here. I'm not saying this because they have the word recommended here. I'm saying it because I have this plan. And the thing that I like about this plan is that you get a lot more storage space. You can have up to 50 websites. Now, again, will you really be able to get 50 websites for this amount of storage? Maybe so, maybe not. If you have a really targeted site that doesn't use that much in terms of storage space, then you may be able to have 50 websites. But the thing that you want to look at is the difference between what you get for $1.99 a month versus what you would get for $3.99 a month. It's really not that much. There's a $2 difference here, but you get a lot more with the Choice Plus plan, and you get, kind of some upgrades when it comes to your security, and you get backups. With the basic plan, you don't get backups. The other thing that you don't get with the basic plan is phone support. Phone support, in my opinion, is very important, because if your site were to go down, let's say that you have an update, and I will give you an example of an update that happened probably maybe 6 months ago. So my the company that I use for my blogging platform and all of the marketing functionality on my site, they did a really big update. And that update took everybody who used that platform or that software, it took all those people's sites down, right? And so what ended up happening was I was able to get on the phone, call Bluehost. My site was down. Like, I don't remember what the message was that people got. But when you would go to my site, there was nothing there. And so I got on the phone with Bluehost, and they were able to walk me through getting my site back up. They told me what the issue was. They gave me a file that I could take to that vendor, that company that made my software, my marketing software. I could give the file to them, and they would know exactly what to do to get my site back up. Well, come to find out, when I went to my the vendor or the marketing software's website, they had a whole tutorial on how to fix the problem. And so I was able to use that tutorial. I didn't even have to give them the information that I had gotten from Bluehost. But Bluehost was really good in terms of getting my site back up. It, when they got it back up, it wasn't fully functional, but at least people could come to my site and do the basics. And then once I was able to communicate with my marketing software developer, I was able to, actually fix the problem myself, because they had a tutorial. They were seeing, that this was a widespread problem. And so they just put a tutorial right there on their site, and I was able to use that to get my site back up. And so I'm telling you this story because you don't think it'll happen. You take all the precautions to keep your site health good, but there are going to be times, depending on what software you use and the kinds of plugins and things like that you use on your site, there may be times when your site has an emergency. And during those times, you don't want people to come to your site and see a blank page, because then, that may cause them to, go somewhere else. It may cause you to lose business. And so phone support is important for me for that reason. If I had to be on the phone with someone or be on a chat with someone, things would not have moved as quickly. So phone support is important to me. It may not be as important to you, and if so, then this will be fine. The other thing that they give you is daily website backup. So those are important too, because again, if your site goes down, you don't want to lose your entire site. If someone were to hack into your site, or there was some kind of an issue with malware or a virus or something like that, you would not want to lose your entire site. So to keep that from happening, you will need backups. And even if you choose, let's say that you choose the Choice Plus plan, you still want to get, I would recommend getting a plugin that does backups. And you should also back your site up on a regular basis. That will come in handy. That backup file will come in handy if you have a need to bring your site back up. And it's better to lose a day's work versus losing, the last 5 years of your life, right? So those are my little kind of tidbits that I would recommend to anyone who wants to get started with a blog or with an online store. Now, the online store solution, I want you to also pay attention. There's about $4, $3.50, $4 difference between these two. So as you can see, you get basically the same amount of storage. You get a lot of the same things all the way down to the bottom here. So with the Choice Plus plan, you get daily backups, free for the first year. So that means after that, you're going to be paying for those backups. With the online store option, you will have automated real-time backups with Jetpack. Now you can also see right here they have a commerce solution that is included. And when you look at that, these are the features, these are the things that you're going to get. So you can look at that and see if that is something that you want to explore or something that you think would be beneficial to your business. And if so, then you might want to invest in the online store. The online store is going to be a WooCommerce store. So let's just kind of go through this as well. So WordPress is a self-hosted solution. And the online store that goes with WordPress is WooCommerce. Now, there are probably some other e-commerce platforms that work with WordPress, but WooCommerce is the one that is really going to give you that seamless connection. I use WooCommerce in my store on my blog, and I have the Choice Plus plan. But again, I think the difference between the Choice Plus plan and the online store would be these options right here. And a lot of these options, you kind of have to decide, do you want to do a membership? Do you want to sell courses? Do you want to have bookings and appointments? Do you want to be able to send out SMS notifications? This looks like a shipping, maybe some kind of shipping add-on. Product search and filters, composite products, product comparisons. Just kind of go through these and see if these options are things that you want, and if so, then you can choose this online store. But just know that you can add WooCommerce is a free plugin. You can add WooCommerce to the Choice Plus plan. And you don't necessarily have to pay that $7.45 a month when you're going to get the same storage and looks like a lot of the same features that you get with Choice Plus. Now, I will say that if you have an online store, you're going to need more storage space. So you don't necessarily, if you want an online store, you may not want to pick the basic plan, because that 10 gigabytes is going to run out really quickly. Depending on the size of your store, how many products you're selling, you're going to have images, you're going to have videos, you're going to have audio files. You may have other file types that you're going to be uploading, and you want to have plenty of space. so that you don't run out. Because when you run out of space, then you have to upgrade your plan, probably to the pro plan, I would imagine. And that is going to give you, the space that you're going to need for all of those files to reside. Once you get low on storage, then your site is not going to run as efficiently. Okay, so now that you know all of that, let's just we're going to look at the Choice Plus plan. So I'm going to choose this plan. And the first thing you're going to do when you sign up with Bluehost is you're going to get your domain. So your domain is the www.whateverwhatever.com. So you're going to fill in the whateverwhatever.com with the name of your site. So you might want to name your site after your business. So let's say that you're in business and you have a brick and mortar business, or you have a business that you're running out of your house. You might want to use that business name as your domain. And you can certainly do that. That's going to make things a lot simpler for people who are already customers, right? All they'll have to do is just go to your website that is the same name as your business. The other thing that you might want to think about if you are not an existing business owner is you want to have a domain that is easy to remember, easy to type in, something that is easy to spell, and something that is going to be reflective of what your business does. So you want to tell Google and all the other search engines what your business is about. And in your domain, that is an excellent opportunity to tell Google and anybody else, what your business is about. When you give people your domain, that is going to be your home online. So that's going to be just like your address, your street address for your home that you live in. Your domain is going to be the address for your online home, where you're going to be living, where your business is going to be living online. So it's very important. If you come up with something that's clever, but it doesn't make sense, or it's hard to spell, or it's hard to remember, then that's going to, kind of create a barrier for you. And it's also going to limit your ability to rank for, certain keywords. The other thing that you might want to think about is actually including one of your primary keywords in the name of in your domain name. So lots of stuff to think about with your domain. I would recommend easy, simple, easy to type in, easy to remember, and maybe including a keyword if possible. Okay, so I'm just going to type something in here. I'm just going to think of something off the top of my head. It's sunny outside.com. Okay, so then you can also choose your ending. So there's .com, .online, .co, .site, and the list goes on. You can choose from any of these. If you're a commercial entity, most commercial entities choose .com. If you're a nonprofit, you might want to choose .org. If you're kind of a techie company, you might want to choose .net or .tech, but it's all up to you. I would stick with the ending that most people are familiar with for your industry. So again, if you're a nonprofit, you might want to use .org. If you're a commercial entity and that means you want to make money, then you might want to use .com if it's available. So you're going to click on search, and it's going to search to see if that name is available. And in this case, it is not available, but it does give you some options to choose from. You can either choose one of these options, or you can type in another name. So what I would recommend doing is, before you sit down to sign up for your domain and hosting, is you might want to come up with maybe 3 different names. And so if the first one doesn't work out, you can type in the second one and just go through that process again, or you can choose one of these. I'm going to choose this one just for the sake of time. Now this is where you are going to find all the options that are available. This is where you can kind of play around with the numbers and get this down to a total that works with your budget. Now, if you are really interested in blogging or having this online store and you want to do it for a longer period of time, or you're willing to commit to a longer period of time, you can choose the option instead of choosing this 1 year option. So let's say that you choose the 1 year option. You have $1.99 for 12 months. It's going to come to $23.88. That is an absolute steal. So what that means is you can blog or you can have your website up and running for an entire year. That's going to give you time to get your site launched and start making money, right? Within that year, you should be able to make money. Okay, so then, once that year is over, your pricing is going to go up to $11.99, like we saw in the previous slide. So $11.99 is still, you're going to make that money over and over and over so many times. That $11.99 is going to be a drop in the bucket, hopefully. Of course, there are no guarantees that you're going to make a dime. But if you're diligent, if you're consistent, if you're serious about your business, then you are going to be able to hopefully make more than $11.99 per month. As long as you can recoup your costs, even if you're not making a whole lot of money at the end of a year, you are still going to be in a good place, because you will have had a year to learn, how to market your business, the things that work, the things that don't work, and you can build on that. And even if you're not making, maybe you haven't reached that $1 million mark yet, you are still going to be in a better place maybe than you are right now. Now, if you don't really do that much with your business, if you, allow other things to kind of stand in the way of doing what you need to do, then you may not make any money. There's no guarantee that you're going to make a dime. But, most people, if they are diligent and they kind of learn about their target audience and what their target audience is looking for, and then they're able to provide what their target audience is looking for, then that is where the money will start to flow, right? Okay, so enough of that. We're going to look at the 1 year solution that we talked about earlier, but I want to bring your attention to the other option that you have. So you can sign up for 3 years and pay $4.95 a month. Now, this is the best value because you will have 3 years. Instead of having that 1 year, you're going to have 3 years to blog and not have to worry about having a hosting bill. You will be able to, reach your income goals. Hopefully in 3 years' time, you will definitely reach your income goals. So you can pay $4.95, and that's going to give you that consistent pricing. It's not going to go up to $11.99 a month. It will stay at $4.95 for 3 years. So, and that's going to total $178.20. And now think about that. For $4.95 a month, you're going to be able to have a platform that will enable you to make money. So the choice is yours. I would recommend this one if you can afford it. But if not, you can get started for as little as $23.88. And then you're going to pay for your domain. That's going to be free for the first year. So you would have a year of hosting and a year of your domain at $0. And then if you get the privacy protection, that is going to give you, that will give you the ability to stay off the Whois directory. And the Whois directory tells, spammers and hackers and all kinds of people who are out there, who actually owns a particular domain. And a lot of times, these people can get your email address or your phone number, and then they're going to start bugging you and harassing you about, things that they can do to help you with your business and all of that. So if you want that, you can get it. Now, if you want to get rid of any of these, there is a little trash can right next to these elements, and you can, just click the trash can, and that's going to delete that item off of your bill. Now, I, for some reason, have this WordPress Choice Plus hosting. We're going to get rid of that because I didn't want that. So we're going to remove it. And why do I have 6281? Okay, 2388, 1188. Okay, and then so it's charging me for all this stuff. .org domain, don't want that. We're going to get rid of that. Okay, so now we're down to $35.76. And okay, so 886. Okay, so basically let me just get my little calculator out here. Okay, so 2388 plus 1188. Okay, so that's where the 30. Okay, so they're charging for the choice, I'm sorry, the basic hosting and the privacy protection. Now, you know what? That's very true. So I chose the basic hosting. That is not what I wanted. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to choose. That's why they have the choice plus. Oh, wow. I was going to say the choice plus plan went up really quickly. So I'm not sure if this pricing is, it looks like this pricing might not be lasting forever. So you might want to think about, if you want it, you might want to go ahead and try to get it, because when I went back, it gave me the price of like $5.99 instead of $3.99. So the Choice Plus hosting is what I wanted, but it was good that you could see the pricing for the WordPress basic hosting. So if you want to get the basic hosting, you can get started today for $23.88. That is not what we're going to choose in this scenario, though. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to use the Choice Plus hosting. Now, you can get a full year of the Choice Plus hosting for $47.88, and that is going to be, just clear this out, that's going to be $3.99 times 12. Yep, $47.88. So $3.99 times 12 is $47.88. And then we have our domain, our .com domain at $12.99. Now, why did they charge me $12.99 for that? Okay, we're going to get rid of professional email. And for some reason, I thought you got your domain, I thought you got your domain for free. So let's go back. Okay, I know this is kind of getting a little complicated, but it might be good that you see this. Okay, so yeah, you see how this pricing changed? So then, do you get your domain for free? Let's see. Okay, so maybe, oh yeah, it does say free domain first year. Okay, so we're going to choose this plan again. And we're going to choose domain later because we already went through that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of one of these domain hosting plans. And it's charging me for that domain, and it shouldn't. Okay, so this is what, this is, it's kind of good that you're seeing this, because you want to pay attention to stuff like this. So your .com domain should be free. So if you run into this scenario, I would use this phone number right here to call Bluehost. Okay, and because it says your domain for the first year should be free, and then this content creator solution, I don't want that, but it doesn't give me an option to get rid of it. But at the same time, it's not charging me for it, so I'll leave it there. Google Workspace, don't want that either. So I think we're good to go. And again, what I would do is I would call this number and get the details on why you're being charged that $12.99. And then you're going to continue to check out. So we're just going to assume that all of this is good. We're going to continue to check out. And then all you would do is you would just enter your contact information, first name, last name, address, etc. And then you want to create your password. So what they're going to do is probably use your email. I believe they use your email, and then you set up a password, you confirm it, and then your billing information. So that's where you would put in your credit card information, or you can choose PayPal, and then you would just put in your PayPal information, and your billing address a lot of times is going to be the same as the address that you list up here. But if it's not, you can just uncheck this box and it will give you the ability to put in your billing address. Okay, and then once you fill all this out, then you are going to be good to go. And yeah, and then you just hit the submit payment button. Now, if you have a promo code, you can also enter that in here, and it's going to adjust the price according to that promo code. Why can't I talk? It will adjust the price according to the promo code. Now, it may make your pricing go up or it may make your pricing go down, but you can definitely enter a promo code right here. Okay, so then once you hit submit, then you are going to be good to go and you are going to be ready to install WordPress. So now I'm going to close out this video, and the next video that you're going to see will be the video that shows you how to set up WordPress with the AI solution. So Bluehost has an AI, an artificial intelligence solution, and that solution is going to make it so easy for you to set up your site. So we're going to close this video out. You're all set when it comes to Bluehost. You've got your account set up and you're good to go. The next video that you see will walk you through the AI creation tool. And then we also have another optional video that you can watch that will walk you through the manual configuration. So if you don't want to use AI, you can go through the manual configuration and there will be instructions on that as well. All right, so thank you for hanging out with me, and I'm sorry about the technical difficulties in terms of the payment, but at least you were able to see that and you know what to look for when you're signing up for your Bluehost account, and you have the number to call if you run into any difficulties. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.